Hello students. So in this video we will see next topic related to chapter 5 only. So let's see. So in previous video we have seen children different methods of separation, that is hand picking, sieving, winnowing, threshing. Now in this video we are going to see next methods of separation, that is loading, filtration, sedimentation and decantation. So let's see. So just see about loading method. Loading is a process in which alum particles are deposited on suspended clay particles of muddy water to make them heavy and settle down rapidly. Muddy water is a mixture of water and suspended clay particles. The muddy water is taken in a beaker. A big piece of alum is taken and a thread is tied to it. This is loading method. Now we will see filtration method. The process of removing insoluble solids from a liquid by using a filter paper is known as filtration. Filtration is used for separating insoluble substances from a liquid. A mixture of insoluble solid in a liquid is separated into a solid and a clear liquid. A mixture of chalk and water is separated by filtration. Example, chalk powder and water. Muddy water also we can filter it by this process. Sedimentation is defined as the separation process in which solids are separated from the liquid. Heavy solid particles settle down at the bottom of a beaker and on the top, and a clear layer of liquid is obtained. So this is sedimentation method, which if we will take sand and water. So after some time sand is settling down at the bottom and at the top we can get clear water. So this is sedimentation method. In decantation method, we are whatever the clean water we are getting after putting sand is settling down in a beaker and at the top we are getting clear water. That water should be separated from that sand particles. So decantation is defined as the separation process in which two immiscible liquids are separated. Example, mixture of sand and water. Separating a mixture of sand and water using sedimentation and decantation method, you can see in the figure also how we can separate sediments, means the sand which is remaining behind, and the top layer. So this is decantation method. So just see all this method practically, students. First I will show you loading method. In that loading method, what actually we are doing? We are taking alum crystals, or you can take alum also and you can tie on thread and you can put inside the water. Either you can take crystals also. So just see and watch and observe carefully and note down the observation in your notebook. So just see, I am adding the alum crystals into the water. So I have added this alum crystal into the water. Now we have to stir it. You can see the mixture, children. Okay. Now after adding this alum crystals, you have to keep it undisturbed for some time so that the dust particles will settle down. That alum crystals create load on that dust particles and the dust particles are settling down. That's why the name is loading method. That alum crystals are creating load on the dust particles. So after some time you will see I kept it aside for some time. After that you can see, children, at the bottom you can see impurities settled down at the bottom of the beaker. So this is called loading method. What we did in this, we added alum crystals in water, keep it aside for some time, don't disturb that. After that alum crystals create load on that dust particles, and dust particles are settling down at the bottom. This is loading method. After that, children, we will see filtration method. In filtration method, we are using filter paper because it is having fine coarse pores, so it is very easy to filter dust particles from it. So we have to arrange it in proper manner. First fold we have to make like this. Then we have to again make second fold. Fold it and open it from any one side. You will get like this structure, cone structure. Now you have to keep this filter paper on funnel. This is funnel. Now I am putting this on the funnel and I took this muddy water. Okay. Now what I will do, children, I will just put that solution in the filter paper. I will pour that. So just note down. You can observe, children. Just I am putting the muddy water inside the funnel. So children, like this whole solution I have to put inside the filter paper. After that we will see the result. Now after filtering all the solution, children, yes, you can note down that you can get a clear solution here and residue in the filter paper. So by this method we can separate muddy water, we can separate impurities in the filter paper. So this is filtration method. Now after that filtration method, we are going to see, children, sedimentation and decantation method. So for that I have sand over here and I have put that sand inside that and I will stir that. You can see sand. Okay. Now you have to keep it undistributed for some time. First of all, take sand in the beaker, take water, just stir it. After that, keep it undistributed for some time. So we will wait for some time. After some time, children, you can see the sand particles are settling down and the clear water is on the top. Now the sand particles are called sediments and the top. We will separate that top layer water by the process of decantation. So you can do decantation. You can do decantation by stirrer also. Now I am pouring this water. I am separating this water. On the stirrer I will put the water and through that I can separate top layer of the water. So this is sedimentation decantation method, and the sand which is remaining behind, it is called sediment. So I can separate this by the sedimentation decantation method. So children, you can see we got sediments different and the top layer water different. So this is sedimentation and decantation method. After this, we will watch video for better understanding.
Sedimentation, decantation and filtration. In this module, you will learn to separate mud from muddy water by sedimentation and separation of clean water by decantation and filtration. How to get clean drinking water from this muddy water? Well, we shall use few methods to separate the mud from this water-mud mixture. For this activity, we need 2 beakers, a sample of muddy water, a tea strainer, a piece of cloth, funnel, and filter paper. When the heavier component in a mixture settles, the process is called sedimentation. After sedimentation, the process of removal of water above the sediment is called decantation. Separation of finer impurities from the decantate using a filter paper is known as filtration. Take some muddy water in a beaker. It is a mixture of soil and water. Stir this mixture well and leave to settle for half an hour. The mud settles down at the bottom of the beaker by the process of sedimentation. Now, transfer the water at the top of the settled mud by tilting the beaker to another empty, clean beaker. The water thus obtained is called decantate. As the next step, pour the decantate through a tea strainer. This is called filtering. Is it possible to get the clean water after filtering the decantate with the tea strainer? No, the tea strainer is not able to filter the fine particles as you see the filtrate. It is not clear and contains mud. See, the water obtained is to be filtered with a fine cloth. Some mud has deposited on the cloth, but the water obtained after filtration still contains mud. A filter paper which can separate the fine particles of mud from the water. A filter paper has smaller pores than cloth and hence can be used for this purpose. Place the filter paper in the funnel and pour the water obtained after filtration with cloth. Look at the filter paper after filtration. You can see that fine particles of mud are deposited on the filter paper and the filtrate obtained is free from impurity. In this module, you have learnt that when the heavier component in a mixture settles, the process is called sedimentation. The process of removal of water above the sediment is called decantation. Separation of finer impurities from the decantate using a filter paper is known as filtration. The use of a filter paper is a better choice for effective filtration as it has small pores.
So what we have seen, children, in this video, let's recapitulate the processes or separation methods whichever we have seen in this video. Now we have seen loading method, filtration method, sedimentation and decantation method. Now it's time, children, to ask question. You have seen practical, you have seen video. So through that explanation or by daily life observation, you have to write sedimentation, decantation, loading and filtration method with examples of daily life. You must have observed when your mother is preparing at home food, dal or rice. At that time she is washing dal and rice. At that time what she is doing? The dirt and impurities are floating on the surface of water, so she is removing that water and the dal is useful. After washing that dal, we are using that. So that is sedimentation decantation method if we are talking about your daily life. Loading, filtration, sedimentation, decantation, again we are applying when we are filtering water. So this type of examples you have to note it down and you have to observe daily all the activities, and through that activities you have to understand all these methods of separation. So you will not feel that topic is very hard. Now, in previous two videos, I have suggested you some moral values. Now you have to start writing these moral values, students. I have given two examples in previous two videos. Now, in from this video onward, you have to write moral value by your own. Try to write by your own and explain sedimentation, decantation, filtration and loading method with daily life examples. Thank you for watching video.